Are you tired of walking out of the salon and then 2 weeks later your hair is already brassy? Well, I'll show you what my hair looks like before, and then this is my after. I'm going to show you guys how to tone your hair at home with color that you have access to, and so you can easily do it whenever the need calls for it. My name is Becca. I've been a licensed cosmetologist for about 10 years now, and I know what it feels like when you go to the salon, you pay those high prices, and then you're stuck with brassy hair. So I'm going to show you how you can easily fix that at home with color that you have access to. So we're going to get started. Okay, so if you have ever toned your hair and it's turned out uneven, I'm going to tell you why. The very first thing that you should be doing is your hair prep. You need to be toning your hair on damp hair, and it needs to be on clean hair. So I just shampooed my hair. You don't have to condition if you don't want to. What this is going to do is equalize the porosity throughout your hair so that it tones evenly, because your ends are always going to suck up that color and go a little bit darker if you put this on dry hair. So the very most important thing is to always tone on wet hair, even if it's a permanent hair color toner. If it's a demi-permanent, it's going to be the same thing. The goal is to equalize the porosity. So now that our hair is prepped, what we're going to do is start mixing. So that's going to be the second step. Now what we're going to be using today is I'm going to show you how to properly use the Wella Colorcharm toners. These toners are made for a light blonde hair. So if your hair is like a dark orange color, then this video isn't for you. I will do another one for you guys as well. So what you're gonna need is your bottle, and then you're gonna need the actual toner as well as developer. I'm gonna go show you guys how I mix this up and what volume developer that I use to keep it safe and healthy for your blonde hair. Okay, so what I'm gonna be using for my hair is Wella T18. This is straight violet. That's going to counteract yellow. So you guys need to understand the color wheel as well as the levels of hair color before you can choose what color you want. So we're gonna start with the T18 toner, and this is a 1:2 mixing ratio. So I have an applicator bottle, so 1 ounce of the actual toner and 2 ounces of developer. The developer that we're gonna be using is a 6 volume developer by Wella. So when you're mixing this, you're gonna eyeball it so that you can get to the 1 ounce. And then like I said, we're gonna do 2 ounces of developer. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and we're gonna make sure we put our finger on the top and we're gonna give it a shake so that it stirs everything up. This normally processes for 30 minutes according to the instructions. However, I prefer to process it as long as it needs. So I'll continue to check the hair, and I'll show you guys how I do that later on for the desired end result. So what you need to know as far as doing your actual toner is you need to know the basics and fundamentals. If you are not a level 9 or a level 10 with your hair color, and there are 10 levels of hair color, then this toner is not for you. These toners are based on the palest, lightest blonde. So if you have anything darker than a level 8, and I will show you guys the level system, then you need to be using a different type of toner, which I'll do another video on later. So the reason that we actually use 6 volume developer is because A, we want deposit only, and B, we do not want this toner to actually change my natural hair color. So my natural hair color is what we don't want this toner to stick to and make lighter. That 20 volume, if you do follow the instructions, is gonna give you hot roots, and it's not gonna be pretty. So use the 6 volume developer because it's deposit only. As far as the application goes, it's very straightforward. I'm just focusing on my roots first. I'm gonna take the tip and push the product on my root if I have highlights, or if your hair is all one color blonde. So you're gonna go like this, and you're gonna push the product in and continually go throughout your head, pushing that product in. And that way, all of your roots, you can just basically rub it in just like this, and then you just need to do the mids to ends after that. So it basically looks like this. If I were to move my hair out of the way, you're gonna put that line of color right there, and you're gonna do that all around your head. It's a very fast application, and it's a lot easier to do it with a bottle than it is to do it with a brush. So right here, now I'm gonna take my hand and I'm gonna rub this into my roots, and I'm gonna finish the other side, and I'll be right back. So now that I have my root area done, then I'm going to take each section, and I have very thin hair, so it doesn't really take a lot. So we're gonna take our applicator bottle, and we're gonna use our hands to rub it in. The actual application of this is super easy. What you guys really need to understand is color theory. so that you can pick the correct toner for your hair. Now, I only needed violet on my hair to make my hair look a little bit more ashy and platinum because I have very pale blonde hair. So on the color wheel, we'll insert something so you guys can see. Yellow is across from violet on the color wheel. So if your hair is a little bit brassy and it just needs maybe a little bit of purple, then you're gonna wanna go with the T18. Just make sure that your hair is lifted to the level that it needs to be so that it will actually take that violet color. If you prefer a more natural blonde color, you can also use the natural color from Wella, which I will show. And even if you do want more of like an ashier one than T18, you can also use T14. So T14 is blue and violet based. That will counteract some orange tones as well as yellow tones. You just have to be careful if your hair is completely orange or if it's not lifted to the correct color, it's not gonna take, and that could turn your hair a little bit green. So make sure you're using it at the accurate level. Okay, now that I have everything all over my head and saturated, I'm gonna go through with my brush and I'm gonna make sure everything is distributed evenly. Okay, now you guys can see how purple my gloves are. So don't get scared at this point when you see that your whole head is turning purple. I promise you it's still processing. So we're gonna let this process for about 15 minutes. I am done processing. So I am gonna go to the shampoo bowl. I'm gonna make sure I shampoo really good, condition, and then when I come back, I'm gonna dry my hair and then show you guys the end result. Really quickly though, I did wanna show you how you check the hair color because it does look really scary and it looks completely purple. But I'm gonna show you how we check toner. So you're gonna take a section, and you see how it looks purple right here? You're gonna push on the hair so that it looks just like this, if you can see that. So now you can see the true hair color that lies right underneath that toner. So if you get scared while it's processing, just continually check it like I do and keep pushing down and pushing away that color so you can see the true tone. So I'm gonna go shampoo, condition, and I'll be back. So this is how my hair turned out. I just did a blowout. As you can see, it's a lot cooler, but it's not completely gray, which is what I love. I like to be nice and bright, but more a little bit on the ashy side, but I just don't want to be like gray. Just to remind you guys, this is what my before looked like. And then this is my after. This is just one method, and there are so many different kinds of toners for different situations. I am working on a training, so that will be coming soon, but if you guys are interested in a free consultation, we can go over some of your pain points that you might be having with your hair. Maybe you need a toner or you need a formula, you have trouble cutting your hair. Click the link in my description below and we'll set up a free consultation. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching and don't forget to get my free guide.